I've been talking a lot about how, and I keep saying it this way, that I think people are using AI wrong. That's not really fair. They're not using it wrong, they're using it inefficiently, or they're not using enough of what these platforms, these LLM AI platforms, are enabling us to do. Okay, so very quickly, I'm going to run through a couple of things that I'm doing and some work that I'm doing with some people that are going to show you what we're actually capable of building these days. And I want you to think about that under the guise of making 2025 a year where you make your business more efficient and thus make more money by using these systems fully. All right. And in light of all the economic uncertainty out there right now, this is something we all need to pay attention to. Okay. So here I am on ChatGPT. You might recognize it. Not my favorite LLM. I like Claude for most things, but I have this open. And here's how I think most people use, or have seen most people use these platforms. They're going to go in here and they're going to write something like here. I want to write a LinkedIn post talking about how businesses in 2025 need to be using AI automations to save time and make more money. Okay? And great. And ChatGPT gets to work and it's, it's going to spit some stuff out. I haven't really given it too much guidance. It's probably fun, right? It's not going to excite anybody. It's not going to really teach anybody anything, but it's fun, all right? But that's not good enough for most of what we're doing. If you go to the next level of ChatGPT, or again, any of the other ones, you use more extensive prompts, okay? And so this is something that I have set up, structured in the way that the system can interpret it better, okay? So it's written in Markdown, it gives the platform a role, it gives it a goal and a bunch of instructions, it gives it some requirements, right? Lots of stuff here, how to make it better, right? Structural elements, what I want it to do, how I want it to look. And if I did this and then asked it to create that post, I'd get better output, okay? But this is really inefficient. And I'm certainly not pasting this in or customizing this for every time. So what ChatGPT did, or what OpenAI did, is they came up with GPTs. And what a GPT is, and here's one right here, is essentially taking all those instructions, having them embedded, and having them act automatically onto something you put into this dialog box again, some instruction you give it. Okay, there was a lot of hype around these. They're not really that great, but it is a little bit more efficient, okay? I want to take that to the next level. Scratch that. I am taking that to the next level. So let me give you 3 quick examples to show how that works, because talking about the technology isn't that important. Showing what the technology can do is better. Okay, so the first example is this one right here, this monthly marketing report for marketing. I took out some of the details. This is a Google slide deck, okay? On the surface, this doesn't look like anything super special, right? It's got some slides, it's got some information in it. The interesting thing for me is that I didn't write a word in this deck. This entire presentation, this entire deck, this entire monthly marketing report was created automatically in a system called Make.com, pulling data from Google Analytics and a couple of other platforms, putting that data into ChatGPT, putting a human spin on it, automatically publishing it, automatically creating this presentation and the content in it, and then emailing it directly to the client, right? Now, most of this isn't insane, right? It's got a little personality. Traffic was up big time in November. Again, I didn't write this. It pulls in the data, right? Pulls in the revenue, shows us some hot spots around the world where traffic is coming from. But again, I didn't do anything. I didn't create this document. I didn't create the data in it or the information in it, any of the copy in it. And I didn't have to go through and parse the information, and I didn't have to go and send it to the client. This all happens automatically on the last day of every month. Now, this is not saving me an endless amount of time every week or every month. But if you're an agency and you have to do this 10, 20, 30 times a month for clients, this could work. And it doesn't have to be Google Analytics that's the data source. We could pull data from almost anything and auto-create these reports, or auto-create proposals, or auto-create contracts, right? I have a thing right now where I can get on a phone call. That phone call is transcribed, or the video call is transcribed. Data from that automatically powers a proposal, and before the phone call is over, that proposal is done, and I can email it to the client, right? And I've done it a few times where they're like, "What? Huh? We're literally still talking about this." Yeah, but we got the important things out of the way, and I wanted you to see what it looked like. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Next level of automation and efficiency, and all of this is running, just runs in the background. All right, here's another example. This is a social media content engine that I put together from a bunch of different bits and pieces from other people. Okay, now this is an Airtable database, right? Like Google Slides or Google Sheets, but on steroids. Okay, and what this has is all of my prompts, those long prompts that I pasted in there in ChatGPT, already created. They're created per platform and per type of content on that platform, right? LinkedIn posts, LinkedIn newsletters, LinkedIn comments, Twitter posts, Facebook posts, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, right? It's going to create a script. And all of the LLM models are baked in here. I even have that I haven't finished in here is a tone of voice builder. So you can write like people inside your company, right? You can have multiple people here. And all I have to do to create a piece of content, right, is not go to ChatGPT. I go into this sheet and I say, okay, what's the topic today? AI automations, typing, and the future of business. Okay, and my viewpoint, which you don't have to do, but I think makes sense, is that this is the future and you don't want to get left behind. Typing again, to get left behind. Okay, and I go in here and I pick what platform I want to write that for. Okay, so I'm going to do a LinkedIn post. Okay, it's going to pull in those prompts automatically. It's going to pull in my user prompts, again, those further level of instructions. And then if I jump over here, this is something called make.com. And this is where I put together all of these components to work automatically. Okay, now I don't have this one turned on, so we're going to try and activate it manually. Okay, so it's doing some work right now. And in a moment, if we come back here from the piece, we come back here, and I just saw it wrote to the wrong one, so I've broken something here. But look at this. It has automatically created the finished content, right? And it's talking about AI automations in the future. It's saying that this is the future and you don't want to get left behind, right? Now, this is still 100% AI generated content. I don't think that's a great thing to do. I'm revising this system to automate a bunch of the components, but add in human filled in steps. But for this one, and for the one I'm working on right now, if this was good, I could hit another checkbox here that says approved, and this would automatically get posted to LinkedIn. I don't have to do anything else. And I have another version where you don't pick by platform, you just pick by post, and it'll automatically publish on approval to LinkedIn, to Facebook, to Instagram, to Threads, anything that you want. Wait, can we do Threads right now? I don't think we can do Threads. Anyway, it'll publish to any social platform, almost any social platform you want. And it can include an image, it can include a video, whatever, right? So again, saving time, saving effort, saving repetition. For an agency, for an individual like me as a freelancer, this is how we get the scale of a much larger business without having to spend all of our time doing it, because nobody wants to work that much, okay? The final one I want to show you, and yes, I stole this from the Avengers, it's called Jarvis, all right? Now, I don't know that this one has the greatest business case, although it might, but what this is, at its most basic, is that this is a personal Siri. So the biggest problem for Siri right now is that it has to work for everyone, right? So when it works for everyone, it can't really work for the individual that well. And what this is this is just made for me. My information, my data, my calendar, my documents, and is accessible through the way that I like to access it. And in this case, I've got it hooked up to Telegram. Okay? Now, that means that I can go to Telegram and I can create a voice note that says, hey Jarvis, what do I have on my calendar for this week? Okay? A simple voice note. And I don't have to be that particular about it because the systems behind this are more powerful and more flexible. And you're not going to be able to see it because of the light and because of the focus. But already Jarvis has come back and said, hey there, here's what you have on your calendar for this week. And it lists out my appointments. Okay, well that's kind of neat. Jarvis can go further though. Jarvis can book appointments, right? You can use my Google Calendar to create an appointment, to send an invite to people inside my address book, which I also keep inside of here. It can add notes to that. It can send files. I can write details to my Notion documents. And what I actually think is even more interesting is that it uses this, you can kind of see it here, this thing called Pinecone, which is essentially a RAG system. And a RAG is just a very fast and easily accessible database. And I'm creating a database of my information, the data that I need to remember, that I need to know, the documents that I have, and it's going all through all of them. So I can go to Jarvis and say, hey, can you look for that document about this? And it's not looking for the title, and it's not looking for, if I put any labels on it. It's looking through the content of that document. And it's saying, hey, here's the thing. Is this what you wanted? I can pull it up for you, right? So again, I don't know exactly that this is going to be something that everybody wants, but for me, this is a fantastic example of being able to take back control of things, to move faster, to be better, and to save time in the things that I'm doing. Now, I've shown you 3 of these things. I have dozens and dozens of these. Things that auto-post to social media, things that create content, things that store information, things that create proposals. What I want you to think about is how do we apply this level of problem solving to the business that you're doing? What are the things that are repetitive? What are the things that are boring? What are the things that, frankly, anybody could do? They just take time that we could get a system to do. Because when you're more efficient, when you save time, you can spend more, give more attention to the high leverage activities that will make a difference, right? And that, I think, is an absolute key for 2025 and beyond in order to make your business, whether it's one person or 100 people, better, right? Thanks for listening. I think this went a lot longer than I thought, but I hope it was valuable. If anything in here sparks any interest, I'm very easy to find almost everywhere. Come and ask me some questions. I'd love to show you more of these things. I'd like to talk about it. This excites me so much that I will ramble about this forever. All right. Peace.